Okay, this is how I would typically like a session sent to me when working on something. This is a Logic Pro X session here, and my buddy Steve did an awesome job setting it up, recording everything. But what I would like to do, just to make everything come together a lot better, when sending anything to me or any engineer for that matter, you just want to make sure that your tracks are labeled, because when you export them out, you don't want them to say audio. It says audio here, but that's fine. Let me put that back. Because when this track was recorded, it wasn't labeled initially. Only time that the region take on the name of the track is when you label your track from the beginning and then record, and then it'll take on the name of the channel. But the other cool thing is I'm going to show you guys how to label your track inside of Logic, and you can do this in any DAW, but this is the way I know how to do it inside of Logic Pro X. So this is, I believe this was a snare. All right, that was a snare, and this audio was recorded rather low, so that's why the signal's not, well, the signal's halfway, but I would have rather the signal, kind of hit right up in here, towards up here in this area. But we gotta do what we gotta do. So this is the snare, and typically that's how I will label the snare. I guess rearranging everything doesn't really matter, because once it comes out, it's going to all of the files will line up according to the alphabet. It will alphabetize itself, if that's a word. Alphabetical order. I typically like to go T1, T2, T3, and you can spell them out and say Tom like he did, but that's fine. This one says audio. Never seen anything saying audio, because that's more work on the engineer, and some engineers actually charge to try to figure that out, and it might not be nothing on here because it doesn't look like it, but I'm gonna try to, yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything on it. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, sometimes when you're recording these different takes, there might be something on this track, it might be something on this one, but it looks like there's nothing on this one in particular, so we can go ahead and delete this. Yeah, we're gonna just delete that. Don't want to give the engineer more than what he needs. All right, this is the overhead, and in Logic, this is, I like the way Logic record things. However, sometimes stuff comes like this, so it's like, where's everything else? Well, see, the thing is, this is the part where when you tracking drums and you have a drummer that need to do record takes, they need to do something over, and I'm glad we having this issue, because this is a great way that I can show you guys how to get everything to lock, because you would have did something on this track and it not reflect what's on this one or this one. You definitely, because you can adjust something here, down here, and it might not be the same for up here. So that's something you want to make sure you pay attention to. So basically what I do, first of all, I'm gonna finish labeling. One of these overheads have to be left or right, so we're gonna just go down here for right now and just try to, okay, this one sounds like the right. because it's picking up the times more so, like the low floor time more so than the crash. The other overhead is usually above the crash on the left hand side, on the same side as the hi-hats or the first tom. So we're going to label this, and I like to go and label this overhead right, just like that. And let's get this to come up. Overhead left. All right, so now I have my drums labeled, and what I'm going to do here is get everything to a group. All right, we're going to build this group, and you also have to click down on settings and make sure you click edit selection, because that's the only way that you can do those, make everything kind of come together. Okay. Now it sounds like everything is playing through. Yeah, it sounds like everything is playing. And okay, everything is on take 3. So it looks, and all you need is one track. Double click on it and it expands itself. And I'm gonna do the snare as well, just so you can see. You don't need everything expanded, but you'll see how I am able to move things around. So okay, so take 1 was done, and my guess is take 2 was, yeah, take 2 was the new one. And you see how that you can hear how it sounded like it was punched in right there. That's something we don't want. All right, so first of all, we're going to color that in or paint it in. Okay, let's go back and paint in the other section. All right, so from the beginning, and that's just so we can see the transients. Now you can see the transients popping in, and that's what we want. And to me, that ensures that everything will come out properly. So let's listen to that. That sounds a lot better. So now we need to figure out how this is going to end. Okay, so let's say go back to the first one right here. Let's see how that goes. I don't really like how that ended. Okay. Now, just would have wished he record that, but that's fine, because obviously this is a pause of a song. There's no drums recorded here, so that's fine. I can just break that up and fade that out. Make it come to a halt a little bit better, a little cleaner. That's not a problem. All right, so now we need to, let's bring this in. All right. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come back some on the first one, but on the second or the third take, we're going to we're gonna come back somewhere where we think is clean. And I'm watching, where things are, the different transients. Nope, that's not clean. So we're gonna come right here. Nope, that's not clean at all. We'll come right back, right there. Okay. Okay. Something tells me I should come back some more. Let's see. Okay, let's come back slightly more. I like that better. Okay, that sounds like it sounds natural, That's the whole point when you playing with these when you punching things in and you got different takes, and that's how you pretty much do that. And as you saw whatever I did to the kick, it happened to the snare, and vice versa. The same thing happened to the toms. As you can see all of where I made my adjustments. It's all up and down this line. Let's move this here, and you can see all of my adjustments was made up and down this line. All right, you can see that. All right, and what I'm going to do is double click on it back to collapse it, because sometimes when it's open, you can tend to make mistakes, or it'll get just overwhelming with all these things open. So that's one way you can do it. So now we have a better and cleaner drums. All right, now let's move on to the bass. The bass is another thing that my dear friend Steve, and I'm glad he sent it to me like this, because there's a lot of people who does it like this because they don't understand how to use the takes that most DAWs offer. Studio One has it. I was in there the other day and I was saying that you can do it in there. Pro Tools has this ability. I believe Cubase can do this, and if I'm not sure, I believe Ableton can do this, and if I'm wrong, please forgive me. But I would take it that this is a standard and common thing that most DAWs do now. You can chord different takes. I'm sure, I know for a fact that Reason does it. So he took a second track and this would typically be the thing you would do because you're afraid to mess up something in here. Well, the audio is there and it will be there. It's not going anywhere. So that's the thing right there. So all I'm doing now is just moving this stuff more so inward, a little bit in like that. So all I have to do is move it up, and I have a special key command that I have inside of Logic Pro. It's the can't remember the command, but it allows a region to jump to another channel, because that's just to avoid taking this and moving up, you know what I'm saying, and sometimes you kind of look off a little bit if you're not paying attention, and just imagine this track was way down here somewhere, way down here, and I have to, okay, let's undo that. Let's take my track. Okay, so say I'm way down here or something like that, and I need to move this up. It's like, then the good thing is it has these guidelines that pops up as I'm moving my region, but I don't really want to do that. So I just set a key command for it. All right. And in this particular session, he did do a punch somewhere. I seen it. Yeah, it's a punch right here. This is take one. Well, it's not a punch. I don't know why it's a drop down arrow. Maybe the punch was somewhere else there. That's what happened. It initially was recorded the first time, and then he cut an area to import this, to record this in there between it on the second track. That's what it was, because the punch is right here. This is take 3 here, and we just want to make sure that that's clean. Yes, that is clean punch. No clicks, no pops. That's what we look for. Clean transition, musically makes sense, that type of thing. And we're gonna just go ahead and flatten this. Should have said flatten and delete the unused tracks, but we're gonna just do it like this. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Flatten that, and we can do the same here. So just gonna delete the other one. That's all it's gonna do, instead of trying to merge. All right, so this is the trick. This is the magic. First of all, I want to label this. I don't know. All right, so basically you got to select the channel. I guess it wouldn't really matter to show you this trick that I have, because I have mine set up this way. But anyway, the trick is, however you do it, if you select all and drag up, that's fine. But this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna take this track and delete that. So now we got a clean bass line. And if you just want to, you can do things like right click on it and bounce to join, or hit join. I of course I have my key command set at G. Is going to create. It's going to create a fresh region all the way through. So just giving you guys options when you come across things like that. But you could do it like that. See, this is the MIDI here. Same thing. Hit G to join it. Let's look down further. Okay. All right. Everything looks good. All right. So I can actually flatten everything out. Flatten and merge. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. And what it does, it creates its own crossfades or fades out, or I was gonna say fade in, but I don't even see any fade ins. So it's gonna go track by track, which is awesome. And the reason why it's doing that at one click is because, once again, if you remember more so towards the beginning of this video, I put everything in the group, and so this whole section right here is acting as a group. And lastly, what I want to show, well, it's not the last process, but what I want to show you guys is how to change your audio regions to reflect the name that you gave the track itself. All right. Now, as you guys know, some of you guys know, I recently purchased Studio One Professional to work inside that software to achieve some of the same techniques that I do here, mixing and producing music. One of the things that I did not see was how to do what I'm about to show you now. All right. So basically, inside the range window, all I have to do is, and first, before we go there, this is something I kind of hate. We're gonna just go ahead. We're gonna just go ahead and label this right quick. and that's gonna probably be 1, and this is gonna probably be 2, just by the look of things. Okay, so that's a tremolo. What is this? We can leave that like that. So we just call it crystal keys. I just don't like leaving some, some of the names that are given to some of these instruments, I'm not familiar with it. So when I go and look to see where everything is, and it makes it kind of hard for me to remember what that stuff is. So I just give it a name that, like, okay, the name that I switched this from, it was a briefcase, some type of road. But to me, in my mind, it's a road, period. No matter what type of road it is, it's a road. It's a road sound. So we just gonna say road 1, 2, however many roads or whatever. This is these are strings, and okay, one of them sound like cellos, but okay, whatever. We just gonna name it string 1 and 2. All right, so this is one of those things I like Studio One. It's actually 2 things, to be honest. 2 things I want Studio One to do, and it's probably wrong that I'm using a tutorial mainly in a Logic Pro to show what I want to achieve inside of Studio One, but it is what it is. People do it all day, every day, so a lot of times it's best to do it like this. Because people are like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I don't know what do you mean? So I was trying to explain this to somebody and I had no clue. So here it goes. All right, here's one of the things that I like mostly. When I got several things going on, especially for vocals, oh my God, that's just the fact that Logic Pro can do this. This is one of the things I love most about Logic Pro. So check this out. So I'm gonna call this strings. All right, strings. Then I'm gonna say 1. All right. When I hit enter, what it did was name everything string 1, 2, 3, 4 in a a sequel, if I can say that. There's a sequence here. All right, that's one thing I love. Let's see, what is this fast pad? In my mind, that's what we're gonna label that pad synth. What is a fast pad? You know what I'm saying? When you mixing, I guess because it say pad, I guess. Piano. What is this? Cool. Now what is this? Come on and shout. Now. That's the GAD track. Cool. We're gonna just label it like that. And then let's see, what is this here? Organ. Wait, what is this? I'm guessing that's supposed to be left and right. Can't really notice that much of a difference because it's both in mono and it's like they're doing the same exact thing. So, but anyway, we're gonna do what we did before. We're gonna just label it. Okay, let's select them both. Double click here. Organ 1. Bam. Organ 1 and 2. What is this here? Okay, my buddy likes Rhodes, as y'all can see. It might be the same as the other one. So I'm gonna label that Rhodes 2 because that's gonna fall up under here. It might be the same and I need to pull it out later on. But that's totally fine. I'm just trying to make sure that this is in, because it said stereo and this looks mono. Oh, that is stereo. Okay, it says stereo up here. I'm gonna get to what I was gonna show you guys, but this is some of the things I just noted that just this doesn't matter, but I'll do it anyway just because I want everything to be clean. Because what I'm about to show you guys, I don't think the I'm going to go here. I'm going to do export all tracks, all tracks as audio, right? When you do it like this, none of this is coming with it. No matter how much stuff you got, bust or whatever, it's not going to come with it. And anyway, that just happened to be a EQ channel on these things. It's not even holding any substance there. So it's like, why is it there? But sometimes these tracks come with it, and then when you duplicate tracks, it just keeps going on and on and on and on. You don't need all that. I'm gonna leave these plugins on here because it came with the actual. Actually, I could delete that. Well, I'll bring it with it just so I can move it around. Because all I'm gonna do is take this and export it out, and this is how you do. If you're giving someone a track, I'm just making sure all of them at unity gain. It looks like everything is at unity gain, but this is how you would do when exporting your tracks out. Everything audio, even MIDI can go as well. It doesn't matter. MIDI will export out as wave. All right, so it really doesn't matter. You just better make sure your MIDI is what you want. If it's the last thing that you because I cannot make any adjustments after this process. I can make adjustments in the session alone. I can continue working in here, but once you get it to wave and send it to the engineer, you can't be like, could you fix that note? No. I mean, if there may be a way depending on where it is in the song, like a bass line or something that's sticking out, and I can probably tune that. But as far as like chords and if it's running into the next chord, nah, that stuff is not going to be able to be fixed. All right, so the next thing you want to pay attention to is, let's see, well, let's mute this here. Let's go to the beginning. Okay, it looks like everything come at bar 4 and everything is extra hot, but that's fine. Usually I will bring everything down, but for the purpose of what we're doing here, we want everything to come out straight down the middle, everything in unity gain. And that's just how we would go about this. The next thing I want to show it took me a long time to get to this point, but here, this is all you got to do. This is one thing that I love most. Should have showed y'all this a long time ago, but this is one of the things I love. I can switch or convert all of the names. Oh, I'm in the wrong section. By clicking here, name and color, then going to name regions by tracks. Look what happens. Now, all of these region tracks now holds the name of the track themselves at one click. I don't have to go in individually and rename the track. That is one of those things that I love, because when you're recording, who remembers to label their track all the time? Some people does, but some people don't. Cause when we are going about a structure of a song while recording, I'll ask the artist, okay, so what we're doing now? We're doing the alto part. Okay, we're doing the soprano part. Okay, all right, cool. Now we're doing the lead. But sometimes when you get ideas that come through, you don't have time to label it. You just, okay, I hear something. Okay, boom, let's record. Now we in creative mode. We in that mode where nothing technical needs to happen at that point. Unless you know how to be creative and technical at the same time, that's fine. But when ideas come, they don't wait. And if you're trying to label a track according to the idea that pops in your head, you're going to lose that idea really quick, and you're going to be mad at yourself. So the best thing is just go ahead and record it, and then come up with whatever you thought that was, you know what I'm saying? And just keep moving from right there. So that's what happened here. Like he tried to label most of the tracks here, but some of the tracks were just being recorded and don't know what it is later on. All right. So we got 21 tracks here. Now, if you have a track that's not going inside this export, it needs to be not only muted from here, but it needs to be muted by the region. And when you hit M, hit the wrong button. When you hit M, it will mute the region itself. That means this is not coming with us when we export everything. If this region is not muted and this track is muted, this region is still coming. It's still going to export. I want to make that clear because some people don't know that, it's still going to export. All right. So you say, okay, I'm going to mute this, or that's not going. Okay. All right. I don't need that. All right. Whatever. That doesn't mean that it's not coming. It's still coming. But you have to mute it from right here. Select whatever tracks you don't want it to come to export out. All right. So now it's muted. All right. So just want to make that clear. And the good thing about when you do it this way, and this is like the process of consolidating all of your waves, is no matter where they start in the session, as you can see, these here start at 7. All right. When you export everything, what Logic does is put a silence at number 1. At 1. All right. That way, when I bring it up in the DAW of my choice that I choose to mix or continue working on your song, everything will start at the same time. Although this will still come in, but it'll more so look like this. All right, that's what it'll look like. All your tracks will begin to look like that. Let me see if I can drag this all the way to 1. It'll look just like that coming in. All right, but I'm gonna leave it just like that. That's cool. All right, so that's pretty much the process of getting everything lined up and labeled properly. And even if you don't label your regions like I did, as long as you have each channel labeled properly, it'll come out. And all you have to do now, this is the last part of this video, is go to export. Okay, you're gonna go to file, you're gonna go to export, then you're gonna go to all tracks as audio. All right. Then you're going to go and you can make up a folder. I usually like to make up a folder saying stems or the name of the song, stems, just to keep everything organized. Everything in WAV or AIFF, either is fine, but WAV usually works 24-bit, which is cool. Overload protection only. Let's see. And that's pretty much it. Yep. And at the top, as you saw, where you will usually relabel your tracks, you don't have to relabel any of that. It will take, you just leave that as it is. It will take the name of each track. All right. And even though these have different endings, like this end more so, I don't know, 104. This is probably a little bit past 102 or something like that. Wherever they end, they will probably end there the same way, but the most important thing is everything will start at 1. All right, so when I bring in and move everything in, everything has the same start. That's most important. This here, this crystal keys right here, is gonna stop right here, as well as this pad synth. It's gonna stop. Actually, it's gonna stop a little bit beyond that, because I would imagine that these has sustain on it, or reverb, or decay. That's gonna decay out, because that's a pad synth, and we heard that there was reverb somehow in there. All right, so it's gonna go all the way out until the end of the decay. It probably stops somewhere around here, but the point is, it's gonna stop way before the end. So when you look at it, don't think that it didn't completely consolidate like it was supposed to, like the rest of these that's kind of going towards the end. This will still get the silence in the beginning. All right, I hope I made that clear, and trying to see if I can kind of show you guys what that will partially look like. It looks like this is going fairly fast. Shout stems. All right, now it's still bouncing down, but basically you get to see, get the gist of what it would look. This took the name that I gave it. All right, it doesn't say strings.bip. it gave me the name of what I want, of what I labeled them. All right, so now everything is converting to normalizing over, and it's gonna do that until the end. It's not gonna let me show y'all nothing no more. But let me see. I could be slick. Nah. Yeah. Could do it like this and just trying to bring this photo over. There we go. All right, so now you guys can kind of get the gist of how it goes. So we're just looking off on the side of my screen here, but this is what it is. All right, everything gonna have different duration times, which is fine. Like I told you, it some of the duration is not gonna pop up yet, but okay, this is 624. That's 624 because the strings pretty much stop at the same place. But the times, let's see. Okay, the bass 417. The bass, where was the bass? The bass was here. And it has a different, it end in a different spot. Wait, I don't think the bass is completely converted. Okay, here's the keys. It's got a length of 1 minute and 5 seconds. Wait, I did something up here. Yeah. All right, so and then you can actually play these things back just to make sure that they you know what? I take that back. it did put a, and basically what this means is bounce in place. Yeah, I remember. My boy just told me what that mean. For so long I didn't know what that mean. Okay. All right. So everything came out with the BIP. I hate that. I thought I was gonna bring out everything like past synth, the piano, and then Rhodes one. Is just put the BIP in there. But anyway, it really doesn't matter as long as everything sound like it's supposed to, and so when I guess I can show you guys what I mean, like when you bring it up in another program. And I guess this video will be the Bible of anyone, or the tutorial to your knowledge, the key to music, that thing in between music production, recording, getting everything to how you like it. You're working on the song. Now it's time to give it to the mix engineer. All right. And basically, your mix engineer is going to do something like this. Oh, and you should give him the beat per measure as well. That's very important. So this is 95 BPM, 4/4 time signature. Let's see. I want a special area to save this, and we're gonna go somewhere in here. We're gonna kind of go outside there. All right. So this is what it's gonna look like. So I just bounced out everything from Logic, and again, this can be from any DAW program that you're using. So this is what it's gonna look like. All right. You see how everything did not end completely all the way. Everything has different ending points, but everything starts at 1. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly what that means. I gotta find this one track though. I have to mute that. Can't really show that. Okay, can't really hear the drums that well because I explained to you guys that they were recorded low. The input, the gain on those drums was not recorded at its best. But this is a full-blown project that I'm working on, and I was able to achieve a clean sound drum after replacing some of it or whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do. Mix engineers and what I'm talking about. Sometimes you don't get the cleanest or the best projects or whatever, and you gotta do what you gotta do to make it sound the best as possible. So I'm making it do what it do for what it is, and this is a pretty good project. I like the outcome of it, but I just wanted to show you guys what the process is and what you need to do. So as you guys heard, everything sounded perfect. Everything was on timing. We're not talking about the quality of the music or what they're playing or how they're playing it, but we're talking about lining everything up where they're supposed to be, which makes job much easier on the mix engineer. All right, everything is labeled properly. I just hate the bip behind. I hate that, but we got to work with it, and then I can begin to start arranging things. like I need to. All right. So I want to appreciate you guys for watching this long video, but I hope this video helped you guys, because I get a lot of projects all over the place, and long telephone conversations or long video conversations about how to get your stuff perfect like you need to when moving it on to the next process. So I hope this helps. Music is art. You're the artist. Paint your picture.